In this installment, we're going to be kicking things off with the first game of the NFL season, Thursday Night Football Showdown. I'm going to be breaking down this crucial game between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams, giving you the top plays at captain and at flex. Let's get into it. Hey, yo! Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your game opening, season starting NFL Week 1 Thursday Night Football game between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams. We have the champions here in the Rams going up against the Buffalo Bills, who are pretty much one of the favorited teams to win the Super Bowl this year. This is a very, very intriguing first matchup. But before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetJetsD. Don't forget about the TikTok at Chef_D91 as well. And don't forget about the Patreon if you want more DFS betting and fantasy football help. All that is included in that package. Now, so before we get into the breakdown of the captain and the flex, we got to look at the line and see where things are leaning towards for this big matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams. Right now, the Bills are the road favorite at a -2.5 spread. The over-under, which sounds really, really juicy right now, is 53.5. And Buffalo Bills obviously are favored at -135. So you can get value on the Super Bowl champions if you're leaning that way. The key component here is what the total is going to be, where we can gauge if this is going to be a high scoring affair or not. And it's at 53.5. We got two high powered offenses, but also two high powered defenses. Usually that cancels out and it might just be a very big shootout. But also remember that this is going to be game one. Things might be a little bit rusty. We have a motivated team in the Bills and the Rams that could be just, fat and happy. They just got the Super Bowl. They might come out a little bit more lackadaisical in this matchup. Now, let's start off with the captain position. Some of the guys we're going to key upon in this matchup. So the first guy I really, really love at the captain spot will be their leader in Josh Allen. That's because he is the entire offense. Not only is he a dual threat quarterback, he has a great arm, he has the rushing upside. He's going to be highly motivated for this matchup. Start the season on a high note against the former champions in the LA Rams. We saw them in their previous performance, a heartbreaking loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. So we know that's going to be fresh on the Bills' mind. And in that previous game, Josh Allen put everything out on the field. 329 yards, 4 TDs, had 68 rushing yards, and unluckily, he had a fumble, but he got it back. But that's okay. But Josh Allen is this whole entire team. Definitely have majority of the lineups focusing in on Josh Allen as that captain position. Stephon Diggs is at a high price, and Cooper Kupp is at a high price. So you're in a situation where you're going to have to make a decision. Either you're going to take Josh Allen or Cooper Kupp, pairing those two and bring it back that way, or you think it's going to be a shootout where it's going to be Josh Allen, Stafford, and you got to work your flex guys with lesser tier wide receiver options. It could be wide receiver 2 guys, and there's definitely options in this game. So if we're going to focus in on Josh Allen at $18,000 at that captain price, you're going to have to save some salary in some other situations. But Josh Allen is going to be a good play in game one. A lot of ownership is going to probably be on Cooper Kupp because we had an historic year for him last year. Obviously, Stafford and Cooper Kupp were a very good connection, and he was averaging 28.3 fantasy points per game. So I believe he's going to be the highest owned at that captain position, definitely, especially since we have injury news that Tre'Davious White is going to be out for the first 4 weeks. A lot of eyes going to be this, and this is where we can catch a little bit of an edge if we go a different route with Josh Allen, who I just brought up. It could be Matt Stafford. It could be the next person that I like at the captain spot that I think is going to be a little bit sneaky here, and that could be Allen Robinson here, the newly acquired wide receiver. All the eyes and attention will be on Cooper Kupp, but this acquisition here in Allen Robinson has been superb in the preseason and not preseason, but in training camp. Allen Robinson has had a great connection. A lot of beat reporters and team writers have been raving about Allen Robinson and his performance. So this one can be a very sneaky option at that captain spot. I think he should be considered if you want to go a different route from Cooper Kupp. So we have Allen Robinson, Josh Allen, and if we're looking for a secondary option, because I believe Jalen Ramsey is going to be on Stephon Diggs. If you want to take that route, yes, by all means, this is an elite wide receiver, but Jalen Ramsey is going to be defending him majority of the time. So if you want to look back at that previous game against Kansas City, and we want to look at one of the favorite targets for Josh Allen in that red zone, that's going to be Gabriel Davis. I know everyone's been waiting on this play right here. We saw the last time the Bills played 8 receptions, 10 targets, 201 yards, and 4 TDs. Absolutely insane performance. 55 fantasy points. This is another sneakier option. He's going to be a little bit lesser owned at that captain position, but definitely has high upside. Okay, with the majority eyes being on Stephon Diggs, it's easier for Gabe Davis and other guys to step up. All right, so I'm gonna give you 2 more other captains, and then we're gonna move down to the flex guys. Another guy who I think is going to have a big game, and unfortunately, rest in peace to his brother who he lost. But Dawson Knox is going to have a heavy heart. They're going to be highly motivated for this. This is the first game after that death of his family member, and now Dawson Knox steps into a situation where they're probably going to, heavy heart, and they're gonna focus in on him as well and try to get him a touchdown. Most likely, it's probably going to happen. So Dawson Knox is someone else that we consider is going to be super cheap and is going to allow you to pay up at other spots if you have him at that captain. All right. So we have Dawson Knox, Gabe Davis, Josh Allen on the Buffalo side. Allen Robinson, if you want to get away from Cooper Kupp, who's going to have a higher ownership at that captain position. If you want to feel like you can fit him in that flex, by all means, this man is going to get targeted. But if you want just a little variation, there are other ways. So if we're not going with those 2 guys, I think another way that we can get some access to this Los Angeles Rams offense is going to be Darrell Henderson. All right, Henderson is someone that they're sharing carries here with Cam Akers, and Darrell Henderson is the 2-headed monster right now, but I want to fully avoid Cam Akers. It is never good to have a running back with Achilles injuries that's been right about a year, and he was rushed back in that playoff push that led them to the Super Bowl. So Henderson is probably, you're going to see the difference between Cam Akers and Henderson when either of these 2 running backs get the ball. Okay. So that's going to be one of my cheaper options at captain is going to be Henderson. And on the Buffalo side is going to be Dawson Knox. Let's get into the other flex plays to fill out our rosters. All right. Next guy we're going to look at for flex. All right. So we're going to move over to flex right here. Devin Singletary is the starting running back. Okay. Let's not forget. I understand the draft of James Cook, but he's been on the back burner right now. It was a big step where we saw Zach Moss stayed on this roster. They like him in goal-to-goal situations, red zone situations as well. Zach Moss is gonna get acclimated to this NFL life, obviously, and we might see him turn up in the second half of the season. But right now, they are going to lean on Devin Singletary, and we saw it in the playoffs last year. Look at these numbers from week 15 on: 16, 18, 26, 25, 24, 24 and 15 fantasy points. All right, that ended in that Kansas City Chiefs game. They really leaned upon Devin Singletary. He was reliable rushing the football. He was reliable receiving out of the backfield as well. So if you want to have a fill-in guy that's going to get a lot of usage, okay, this is the guy that's going to be on first and second downs in a highly powerful offense right here. He's going to have some opportunities to get one-on-one on some linebackers, and he has the capabilities to do so. I like Devin Singletary as a flex play. Let's continue to go down. Some other guys we're going to look at for the Rams. Next up, we have Tyler Higbee, tight end for the Los Angeles Rams, and he is a little bit of a little Next up, we have Tyler Higbee. And in this offense for the Los Angeles Rams, he can be someone that can move the chains along, very consistent that we saw last year in 2021. As you can see, he had 70 receptions last year. That is a very rare to see a tight end to get upwards of 70 receptions from that tight end position. Came through with 675 yards and 5 TDs. Not much of a touchdown guy, but super reliable. And someone we can consider in this flex spot that's going to get us just enough points. Hopefully he can get in the end zone. That would be awesome, but he's going to see consistent targets. We have weeks where it's 7 targets, 8 targets, 9 targets. That's definitely what we need to have. Obviously, the Bills defense will try to calm down Cooper Kupp. Obviously, Allen Robinson is going to be the new toy. They're going to look at him and feature him just because they just got him. They want to see how things work, and they have a nice little 1-2 punch there with Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson. But also don't forget about Higbee, because the LA Rams, they do run a lot of tight end screens, and that can bring some upside to Tyler Higbee. With all the focus on their 2 wide receivers, it can leave some open lanes for him to come through and gain some major yardage. Another guy at flex who we can key on, last but not least, all right, is going to be someone that is finally being cleared. This is a sleeper here for a lot of fantasy football drafters, and that's Isaiah McKenzie. He has leapfrogged Jamison Crowder, and he is going to be that slot wide receiver, taking over the Cole Beasley role for the Buffalo Bills. Very explosive, a lot of agility and quickness here. If you're giving him just a little bit of space, Isaiah McKenzie can definitely take one catch and take it all the way to the house. Has a lot of upside here. This is going to be one of the sneakier plays. I think he should be a lock in as your flex play at 2,400 salary. Very sneaky to fill in, very easy to fill in, and you can pay up at other spots. Those are going to be the flex guys we're going to focus in on. That's going to be Tyler Higbee, Devin Singletary, and Isaiah McKenzie. All right, if you wanted to flip things and wanted to lean more to kickers or defense, I think kickers can be viable if you needed to fill in some salaries. If you think one of the teams are going to struggle offensively and they're just going to settle, but I was staying away from that, just be going off of the line right now at 53.5. I do think it's going to be a high scoring affair, but if I had to choose a side, I think the Rams will come out more flat. I like the Bills being more motivated, and if I had to choose a defense and kicker, I'm going to choose Bills defense and either Tyler Bass. If you wanted to go that route, you think Bills kind of dominate the game, you get creative with Bills defense at that captain spot, with a lot of question marks with Stafford's shoulder right now. Maybe that rears its ugly head in game 1. You can definitely get a little bit of variation in your lineups that way. If you see, obviously, Buffalo and the LA Rams bend but don't break defense, you can see Tyler Bass coming through with some field goals early, and then they'll get a couple sparing touchdowns here and there. I can see that as well. But if I had to lean either side, I'm leaning Bills defense and either Tyler Bass. All right. But other than that, for the flex plays, Higbee, Singletary, McKenzie. And for the captains, let's clear that out. For the captains, we're going to focus in on Josh Allen, Gabe Davis, and Allen Robinson, and Matthew Stafford. These are the 4 guys we're going to key in on for the captain spot. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. More videos are coming very soon. We're going to do a draft review. I had 2 drafts over the weekend. I really want you guys to look at and get a little feel for what you think of. Comment down below on that one, and comment down below on this video as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.